Hey, what's up? Here we are. It is Tuesday, the 29th or something-ish.
Yes.
28th, 29th, 29th.
29th.
Yes. So here we go, guys. This is our top. Nope, these are our bottoms, our skippets and mez. Yes, I don't even know what we're doing right now. So I'm Shawn.
This is Drew.
And we are here doing our skippets and meh. Like you get it if you want it. Like these are just our recommendations.
Yes.
We got a lot to do. You guys know how we do it. Let's not screw around. Let's just start cracking and popping on it, okay?
Let's do it.
So we're starting with the mez. Mez are like,
Yeah, we're too terrible. We're too great. There. Okay.
I have a.
Right.
I'll talk to you about it. So sometimes we keep our top 10 strictly to our top 10.
Yes.
These are stuff that didn't make the top 10 or they just weren't cool enough for it. So you start off, sir, and I'll try to follow your lead. You have more than me. What's your first one?
Oh, yeah. No, you have more than I do.
I have a lot more than you.
Yeah.
I have a whole lot more than you.
So, yeah, I managed to cut my mez down to 5. I'm going to go with Power Rangers Unlimited number 1.
Okay. I will pick, I know you didn't read this, so I'll pick Money Shot.
Okay.
I'll start. So this is Money Shot number 12?
Number 12.
I was a little disappointed. I thought there was going to be black bag variants. There usually are for these of super like naughty covers. I mean, it's not bad. I like this story. Alien or scientists go to space and they do it with aliens to raise money. And it's very graphically displayed and talked about. I really like the first page. They're like, here's what I don't like about porn. And they all kind of list off the things they don't like. It's actually, we could probably all relate. But it's just, like it's okay. If you want to pick it up, it didn't make my top 10, but I read it every week. So there's my first one. Go ahead with your Power Rangers.
Power Rangers Unlimited Edge of Darkness number 1. So I'm a decently knowledgeable Power Ranger fan. I don't know.
I'm not at all.
Okay, I know a bit to get by. I can skate by. But this is some deep dive stuff in this comic.
Okay.
And I barely know who the Phantom Ranger is.
So this is a key. It's the first Phantom Ranger.
Okay, that could be why I'm like.
It's a key. From what I understand, again, I don't read Power Rangers a lot, but it's supposed to be a key, the first Phantom Ranger.
And he's pretty badass in this. I mean, he does some badass things in this. But what I didn't understand, I was pretty confused. I'm hoping a Power Ranger fan can explain this to me in the comments. So he saves Rita Repulsa and her mom when she was a kid, and that was supposed to make her good. I think. I don't get it. I am confused. But it was okay. Nah.
I didn't read it. I skimmed through it. It's the first appearance. I don't read Power Rangers at all. It's in my top 10 because it's a key. That's it.
It's a cool cover too. I like the cover.
Okay. Next. What's your next man?
Department of Truth number 10.
Oh, shut your dirty mouth.
It was just okay.
Oh,
it was not great by any means.
All right. Well, I'll pick Marvels. I'll start Marvels. I love the cover. They're all Alex Ross covers. It was a fun read. It was really cool getting to see. This is pre-Fantastic Four getting their powers. This is pre-everybody becoming bad guys or good guys. They're just people trying to go hunt down some monsters and stuff. It was an enjoyable read. I liked it. It just didn't make my top 10. Even if I had room in my top 10, it still would have been an eh. It's a good story. I'm not complaining about it. There's no key factor to it. It's just a fun read. If you're a huge Marvel Comics fan, you like the old school characters, pick it up. Otherwise, it's Go for it.
Department of Truth. I love this. I think it's the main cover here.
Yep.
Yeah, the main cover is beautiful. The story is just pretty depressing to me. You see the guy. This guy's like being ousted from his family essentially because he's trying to hunt down Bigfoot, and he's obsessed with Bigfoot. And you read these notes, and it's just like, this is bleak and depressing. And I did not want to touch it again. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to read the next issue. This is so depressing.
I loved it. I mean, I'll get into. I have more, so I'll pull this up. This made my mez or did it? No, I bumped it into my top. Nope, it almost was a mez because I didn't have enough room. I love this issue. It was so good. It does have a huge emotional impact on you because it's not a happy story. I mean, it's not a happy girl. It's not a Girls from Dimension 13 story. It's big time. There's a couple twists in there. There's a lot of reading. There's a lot of letters in there.
Yes, a lot of handwritten letters.
A dad wrote a son to a letter. Then you there's a twist as you're reading the letter. You realize like, oh, this person isn't who I thought they were. They were somebody else. And then there's a shift in the story, which I thought was brilliant because it makes you shift everything you just read and everything you're now reading. Your whole perspective takes a huge jump. To me, that's brilliant storytelling. If you can do that mid-story, make that huge shift, that is brilliant. And you can do that in the comic medium, brilliant storytelling. Was it depressing? Yeah, it's not very happy.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't think that's not a reason for me to put it into a meh. Or I loved it. I thought it was fantastic storytelling. And I'm a Bigfoot fix. As a kid, I loved Bigfoot stories. I thought they were super cool. And that's what they're covering. So anyway, this is the meh, not the top 10. So all right. So
let's go to skip it. It's a meh.
All right, next meh. What do you got?
Black Knight number 4.
Oh God, we are just gonna fight today.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pick this one.
This was going to be a skip it. It was going to be a skip it.
Girls from Dimension 13. I like the story. I think it's good storytelling. Who's it in? Graham Nolan. Graham Nolan's writing this.
Creator of Bane.
I've been recommending this from day one. It's still a good story. It's fun. If you have the extra money, pick it up. You can read it with your kids. It's a fun story. We get to meet the bad guy. The bad guy's pretty cool. I just liked it, but it wasn't a top 10. It was it's pretty good. It's okay. It's good. That's my thoughts on it. Black Knight, go ahead. Tell me why you didn't like that awesome comic.
It was going to be a recommend. It was going to be a recommend until you told me, you and Pete were talking about the solicitations for the next issue. I was ecstatic and giddy at the end of this issue. I'm like, fuck yes, she's dead. Fantastic. She's out of here. And then you dropped the hammer on me for the next issue. I'm like, all right, this is a meh. It's gone to a meh.
I'll tell you why that's in my top 10. I'll say my thoughts in a little bit later. One reason why. I like the story. I like the issue.
It's a great story. A terrific ending.
Okay, what's your next meh? I have a lot here.
Amazing Steve Spiderman, The Chameleon Conspiracy.
Okay. I'll pick Daredevil. The cover's pretty cool. So Daredevil's still in jail. He's getting his ass kicked a few times. He's starting to fight back a little bit. Elektra's doing some stuff. Reintroduction of a classic villain who has a very intimate relationship with Daredevil and Elektra. I'm super excited about this. I loved it. It just got bumped from my top 10. It would have been in my top 10 all day just because of what the story's building up to. Key Collector has this as possibly a new serial killer. It's not.
No, what? No.
Yeah, not a new serial killer. But the solicitations make it say that. You don't know until you read it. Anyway, I loved it. If you're reading Daredevil, if you like Daredevil, pick it up. It's great. Great story. Just couldn't make my top 10. Go for it. The Spider-Man.
Yes, The Amazing Steve Spiderman, giant size, Amazing Spider-Man, number 1. Chameleon Conspiracy, long title. I love the Ryan Stegman Spidey punching Aunt May in the face chameleon cover. It reminds me of Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Like, that's not your mother, it's a man. And
yeah, that's pretty good.
Punches his face off. It was disappointing to see at least 3 different artists work on this book.
Yeah.
But I did love the Teresa Parker stuff in this. This is arguably the best stuff in this comic.
Yeah.
And pretty much the mind screwing Chameleon does on her. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But the rest of it dealing with
it was mind screwing on me, the reader.
Yeah.
I was going like, I even said out loud, and I was like, what's happening right now? I'm confused. I thought I had it squared away. Now I'm just, again, great writing.
Yes, I so hope it's true what he was teasing in there.
Yeah.
And it's very fast paced, it's fun, but half of it I just didn't care for. I didn't care for the Ned Leeds, the having on the shield carrier. I'm like, let's get back to Teresa Parker here in the Chameleon.
Yeah. Yep.
Nah.
I'll say my thoughts. I got more on that in a little bit. Okay, what's your next one?
Last one is Vampire the Masquerade.
Okay, High Republic. I'm enjoying the story of High Republic. I've had a great time reading comics this week. There's a lot of really good ones. So this is not, somebody told me this was the first appearance of these are non-binary twins who have a mental connection. No. I mean, maybe that's who they are on the cover, but how do you know that just by looking at the cover? These are just 2 bald dudes on the cover. I mean, they're nowhere near in the story. They're not in the story anywhere. The story's still about the plant monster that lived under the cornfield that's taken over the entire galaxy, and it's really good. It's still a good story. There's not non-binary Jedi mental twins
from this angle. They look evil. Those eyes, they look evil.
I picked this cover because people were making a deal about it, and there's no deal about it. It's just not. It's not a thing. I mean, maybe it's a first cover if these guys show up later someday, but they're not even in the story anywhere. And I mean, I don't care if they're non-binary, yes, binary, gender fluid, gender not fluid, whatever. I don't give a crap about that. If they're new characters in the Star Wars universe, it's significant. So you should get it, but they're not even in the story anywhere. So maybe buy it because maybe it's a cover, but I don't know. I say it's a meh, and I advise you don't need to buy it. Read the story. The story is really, really good. And it was a little slow for a couple issues. It's getting way more gooder. So pick it up for the story. I just couldn't make my top 10. And these dudes aren't in there anywhere. Or theys aren't in there anywhere.
Better say those pronouns right.
Yeah.
Longer.
Yeah. Okay.
Vampire the Masquerade #9. I love this cover. I love the old school 1980s holiday Christmas.
Yeah, that's pretty
Christmas
cool.
Lights. It's a kick-ass story, vampires and guns blowing off. It's fun.
It looked good. So I'm not reading this. I didn't feel it was fair for me to start reviewing a title on issue 9. I haven't read a single one of them. I did thumb through it. It looked really good. Yeah. Violent. The storytelling looked great. I think Tim Seeley's doing this.
Yep. He's very fast
Tim
paced,
Seeley.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also writing The Girls from Dimension 13.
That's Graham Nolan.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Money Shot. This is also Tim Seeley.
Yep.
So Tim Seeley is doing a lot of cool stuff lately. So anyway, I don't read it. So if you guys want to pick it up, do it. It seems like a good vampire story.
And it's a badass cover.
Yeah. Again, these are the mess. Remember, they're in the mess. Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, I'll finish up. Catwoman. Yeah, I didn't have room. I love the story. I love the cover.
Liam Sharp.
I know, it's so good. This cover is enough to just want to buy this book. It's so good. There's so many keys, guys, in my top 10. It couldn't make it. This is like an honorary number 11. The story's fantastic. I really enjoyed it. The art, the pacing. We get an introduction to a character who's been in Catwoman. I loved it. I just didn't have room. Okay. Another one. I love this. The Return of Cable. Cable's back, and it's a good story, right? Teenage Cable. He's been annoying. I really have enjoyed the dynamic between him and his dad and his clone stepmom, right? He's banging one of the cuckoos, Phoebe. That's kind of fun. Deadpool shows up and Jean quickly knocks him out, which was awesome. Like, yes, that's what we're all thinking. Yes, that's what we want him to do. But I liked it. I'm a big X-Men fan. I enjoyed this issue. It's so good seeing Cable come back. Adult Cable. Big Cable. Daddy Cable. Beta Ray Bill. Loved it. Fantastic. I loved it. I didn't have room in my top 10. My top 10 is packed full of first appearances.
Okay. There we go.
So Beta Ray Bill. It's super good. You have to get it. You have to buy it. It's super good. That last ending splash page with the art is just like, wow. Like, I want that as a t-shirt. That is so freaking cool. I loved it. You got to get Beta Ray Bill. I'm not done. I was pleasantly surprised by Made in Korea. Pleasantly surprised. I had no idea what I was walking into. This is, it's a great story. It doesn't treat you like you're an idiot. You jump right into the middle of what's happening. And I can't wait to see what happens next. It's a dystopian future. There's things are happening. This guy does, I don't want to spoil anything. This guy does a thing. It affects these other people in America. It's awesome. I'm super excited about this. I was pleasantly surprised with this title. Mech Strike.
Whoa! Are you reading Mech Strike now?
I did. I picked it up just because of this god darn cover.
Not because I've been recommending it every time.
No, you have loved it. So
yes.
I'm trying to see underneath my hand here. So
Ron Lim.
Mech Strike. So obviously this is a cool homage cover of probably arguably one of the most iconic Thanos covers ever, right? from Infinity War or Infinity Gauntlet. I really liked the story. I haven't read a single Mech Strike. Nope. This is issue 4. I haven't read a single one. I thought it was robots, Avenger robots running around like GoBots but Avengers. It's not. Kang and Thanos are in it. Kang does some amazing stuff to Thanos at the end. There's a huge WTF moment. The splash page at the end is another WTF moment. I'm like, what is happening? What have I been missing reading this? It's so good. Drew was right about this. This is so good. I wish I would have picked it up sooner.
Don't forget the art. Carlos Magno on the art. It is
also
amazing.
Great too. Yes. So again, I just couldn't make my top 10, guys. My top 10's full of keys. I could add a top 20 this week.
Well, you can make an argument at the very end. That's kind of key-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. This version of that character for sure. Man. And like who he's the herald of.
Yes.
It's like not herald of Galactus, herald of another cosmic entity. All right, I got 2 more, guys. I'm almost done with this. Okay. Crossover, Chip Zdarsky. I'm a huge Chip Zdarsky fan. Everything he writes, I pretty much love it. Just a couple things I'll throw at you guys. He wrote Sex Criminals with another dude, Matt Kent. So good. Go buy the Sex Criminal trade and read it. You'll be pleasantly surprised. It's unique. It's awesome. So anyway, he also did what's the latest Spider-Man thing that just came out?
Life Story.
Life Story, and then he's also doing the others.
Spider Shadow.
Spider Shadow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just tip of the iceberg stuff he's done.
Daredevil.
Yes. Yes. There's so much stuff he's done, right?
And Batman Urban Legends.
Yeah. So Chip Zdarsky is just a huge talent in comics. And so this crossover, the comic book characters have crossed over into the world of the real life, right? Well, at one point, Chip Zdarsky, he says, went meta, and he wrote himself into a comic book. So that opens the door for the comic version of himself to show up in the real world and meet his real self. It's cool. I like it. He says there's kind of a weird panel in there. I was like, okay. But I really like the story. I can't wait for the next one. I wish it could have been in my top 10. It didn't have room. And Eternals. My final meh. Okay, this has been a very complex. It's not an easy read. It takes a mental commitment, right? You're not just going to thumb through it like another book I'm going to talk to you about here in a minute that takes like 4 seconds to read. You have to commit to this mentally. There's a lot going on. This is a humongous story. This probably could have been these, what is it, 4 or 5 issues?
5 issues.
5 issues. These 5 issues alone probably could have been broken up into 10 issues, and nobody would have complained about it. They're packing so much story into this. Hats off to the writer for keeping the action going and keeping us guessing. We finally find out who the big bad guy is here that's working with Thanos. It's a surprise. But then again, here's what's difficult about Eternals. Not a lot of us have a huge connection to the Eternals. We didn't watch the Eternals growing up and as kids on TV.
And even the biggest Marvel fans don't have a big
connection to Eternals.
Yeah.
It's not been a property that's exploded or blown up.
No.
I never had Eternals pajamas as a kid. No. I didn't have an Eternals bike when I was a kid. No. I didn't dress up as Eternals for Halloween. There was no great series of McFarlane and Jim Lee writing the Eternals in the 90s.
No.
None of us have really been connected to the Eternals. I really like this story. I would probably like it more if I was connected to the Eternals, but hats off to Marvels for picking a fantastic artist, Assad Ribic. Mm-hmm. The interior art is stunning in this. Every page is just a feast of the eyes of beautiful art in this series. Every one of them. Anyway, I've enjoyed it. I wish I could put this in my top 10. I would. I just missed it this week. It's a good, and the story's not wrapped up. I think there's one more issue to wrap up the story arc. It's super good. Okay. Whew. Thanks for bearing with me on those. Now, the fun part. Not the fun part. The skip its. Skip its. These are the ones that we don't even think you should bother reading. Save your money. Okay, I'll start.
I've got 5. So yeah.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
No particular order. Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. And I've got United States. Actually, I'm going to say that for last because that really got under my skin.
Okay.
Crossover number 7.
Okay. Spider-Man. I did like the stuff with Peter's sister,
quote unquote
sister. Chameleon's messing with her. It just wasn't enough story for me to justify paying $5.99. The cover is super cool, but it's kind of a skip it story. Here's what happens with them reintroducing what's her name again? Peter's sister, Teresa.
Well, quote unquote sister. I'm saying she isn't. So
we didn't know if she was, and then they said she was, and we didn't know if she was in the beginning of the story arc, and then we knew she was, and now we don't really know again if she is or not. Nothing changes. We do get some cool chameleon stuff.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
It's not enough to pay $6 for, guys. In my opinion.
I don't know. There are some very powerful panels in this. Like toward the end with her, it's like, oh, that was awesome.
Again, for me, it's $6. Yeah, I don't think it was $6 worth of cool stuff. Okay, crossover, go for it.
Crossover number 7. Much like Department of Truth, this was incredibly depressing. This was like Platoon and Deer Hunter level depressing.
You just don't like books that make you sad.
No, I want to have fun when I'm reading a comic book.
Okay.
And this plot, it really felt like a suicide note or a cry for help from Chip Zdarsky reading this.
Okay.
And for me, look, okay, so how should I say this? I'm really tired at this point of writers getting meta and writing themselves into comic characters. It was bold and creative when Grant Morrison did it at this point almost 40 years ago into Animal Man.
Okay.
Which was new, crazy, but it's gotten very old at this point, like a Foghat concert, old. And
I don't think it happens that often.
It does, and for me, it does. This was just weak, cheap, and lazy, and it's a complete skip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I totally disagree with you.
Okay.
But that's why we do two different opinions.
Yeah.
So you get two different opinions. Okay. Next, skip it. I have Teen Titans.
X Factor.
Oh, wait. Go ahead, start. X Factor, number 20.
Words can't begin to describe how pissed off I was at reading this. Maybe it's because I was in the military and took law courses in the military and had a brother who was a sheriff and friends who are cops, but you can't arrest people in this way. You can't just arrest people on a quote unquote a whim or what allegedly happened.
Talking about the last page?
Yes, with the guy. I'm like, you need fucking evidence.
But they didn't arrest anybody.
But they did with the guy. They need to believe that they're arresting that guy in his mansion. It's like, well, you can't just do this to some guy because you say he quote unquote did this.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not the very last page. Yeah, the wealthy guy in Hollywood, that guy.
Yeah. Well, he had evidence though.
No, he didn't.
He didn't have his phone recording. He left for himself to show that happened to him.
Allegedly, it's on the phone. Yes, but there's no physical evidence outside of the image that can be manipulated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So none of that. So it's kind of like, vigilante justice, maybe.
Yes, absolutely.
That's so. I didn't see any problem with that at all in the book. I can see where maybe you want to call that out, but that's every issue of the Punisher. Well,
at least with the Punisher, you know what you're getting when you get the Punisher.
Ever and always, yeah. So my biggest problem with this was that, again, nothing happens. This was supposed to be a big key. It's boring gala. The gala's happening. The gala's happening. Oh, this guy, if you care about the character, I could give two craps about. He died and he came back to life, and we found out how he died and came back to life, and who cares? What's happening? They just reshaped a planet. You just dropped this on us 2 weeks ago, and Planet-Size X-Men, where the X-Men, using nothing but their mutant abilities, terraformed Mars into their own livable, breathable planet. And you want me to care about this dude who found out who killed him, but he left the thing and he came back, and it's like, I don't care. I don't care about this C-list X-Men character. The eyeball guy.
Yes, almost
they're all C-list. The only one I care about is Polaris. She doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be a big hype up for a thing. There's a last page. Something happens on the last page, but we don't really know what happened on the last page.
No.
So maybe this is leading up to the trial of Magneto. We don't know.
That's what it says.
We don't know, but for what? Again, it's just a small, shocking revelation. There's no shocking thing. Someone's laying on the ground. Are they dead? Maybe they're not dead. I don't know. We don't know. It was stupid, terrible. It's not a key. It was freaking out. Something big's happening in X Factor. No, it's not. Nope.
Only shocker is that it's wasting more time.
Oh,
Or not.
I'm so
I don't
tired. This whole gala was stupid. It was stupid. It was a huge waste for everybody's
Yes.
time. Nothing happened at this gala except everything that happened at the gala happened on Mars. And I want to
Yes.
read just more about that. Only 2 issues so far you got to read is Planet Size X-Men and then get Sword number, the last one that just came out. Because those are the 2 issues where they talk about the terraforming of Mars, which is amazing. And we can't wait to see what happens next. Anyway, next.
Black Widow, number 8.
Let me see if that's in there. Yep. Go ahead.
So, okay.
Did it make you sad?
No. It's another one that pissed me off. I had to stop.
I had to give you. I had
know.
to give you shit.
I had to stop. So, Shawn, I'm going to say this to you.
Say it to me.
I would hope you would kick my ass if I wrote dialogue like this in this comic. I really hope you would.
It was pretty bad, wasn't it?
It was terrible. And I had to stop. I'm like, this dialogue fucking sucks. I'm like, Shawn, kick my ass if I write like this, please.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I just, again, like nothing happens and it was really kind of clunky.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I hate to judge when I don't do certain things. Who wrote this again?
Kelly Thompson.
Oh, I don't know, Kelly Thompson stuff. But anyway, yeah, man, nothing happens. Skip it. Kind of a cool cover, Spider-Man Villains cover. Yeah, skip it. If you want to see the side of Electro's head and a little bit of cleavage, you can get that one.
Whoa.
Okay, next, skip it. What do you got?
Cable 11.
Oh, man. Okay, Teen Titans Academy. Nothing happens. You can skip it. I mean, you talk about the raggy dude or girl or it or they, whatever the pronoun would be for that thing that has no gender, because it legitimately has no gender. It's put together from different pieces. And he says
he's less than a person. He says he's like nothing, I think, in this.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. That was a little depressing.
Yes.
But anyway, so Teen Titans Academy, you can skip it. Nothing happens. It's $6. Save yourself $6 and buy something cool. Go buy the Sex Criminals trade instead. Okay, why didn't you like Cable?
So I really wanted to like this. I was going into this. I was hoping we're going to see Big Cable again. But the combination of Duggan's shitty dialogue and Phil Noto's shitty art really ruined this comic for me.
I didn't think either one was shitty.
Cable, how Cable is drawn in this, it's not Cable. It's average middle-aged man he's drawn as in this. And that really got under my skin.
Okay.
And yeah, Phil Noto apparently forgot how Cable was actually physically built and how he's traditionally looks. That really got under my skin.
He's been off the juice because he just got resurrected.
He just
came out of the egg.
We can only hope in issue 12 he somehow found some supplements to grow.
I liked how they kept he still has the technovirus, which they explained that, which I liked.
It just, for me, it was just very unfunny and unfun. The dialogue just really pissed me off.
I liked the banter between him and his kid.
I hated it.
Or him and himself.
Oh, him and himself, yeah.
Yeah.
It drove me nuts. And another one, I just wanted to rip this in half. If I weren't here, I would have ripped this in half.
Man, you were hard on comics this week. I'm curious to see what your top 10 is, if all these are your bottom 10.
I know, right?
Okay, I got 3 more skip-its. What's your last one?
My last one, United States of Captain America.
God, you were just... So I picked this. Let me talk about this. I'm going to pick a different one. So I just wanted to throw this in here because I probably shouldn't be a skip it.
No,
I've never read this before.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it on the table. I picked it up. I liked it. I like the art. It's got a very unique feel to it. It seems like fun. If you've never read it before and you got some cash, you should pick it up. Again, shame on me. I've never read this before, but I really like this. So this was in my wrong pile. It shouldn't be a skip it. It's kind of a meh. So here's my real skip it. Is this? Yes.
Whoa.
Because who knows what's happening. So I'll start with this. I'm going to argue with you about
what's going on?
I mean, yeah, kind of. Like this dude is doing a thing but he's also here doing a thing in his head, but he's finding another thing for this other thing. In the end, I was just like even more confused. So didn't like it at all. And I like Colin Bunn.
Yeah.
The art, man, you complained about the art in the last issue from Noto. This art was just
it's Andrea Money. You guys doing Bunny Mask.
I didn't like the art in this at all. I felt like it fit the Bunny Mask art really well for what it is. The horror kind of the genre, the feel of that book felt really well. To me, it felt like this could have been had a different, it didn't vibe, I guess. The art and the storytelling and the pacing, it just seemed like kind of all over the place. Didn't like it. So tell me why you didn't like this great issue.
I hated this comic. I really hated this.
Okay.
And I don't like seeing and don't believe in Captain America pontificating like a pissed off psycho on social media about how bad and evil America is and how the American dream is a lie.
I didn't get that at all.
He says that in the first few pages, pages 1 through 3. He says that. And right now, right here, this is the American dream. You and me, we're living the American dream right now.
Yes, we are.
Bitching about comics on YouTube, podcasts, that's the American dream. To be whatever you want to be is the American dream. It does exist. And this writer is an absolute obtuse, negative, fucking asshole. So in other words, someone who lives on Twitter. This is what this writer is. And then we get the Captain America who loves riding the rails. It's guy's a complete wuss wearing the Captain America mask and wonders why someone took a shot at him. Moron, complete moron. And this comic was just mind-numbingly stupid. And do not waste your money or time on reading this comic. Complete skip. Toss it, burn it, whatever.
So I don't know. I mean, I didn't get. I hear what you're saying, but I didn't get that. He said a good dream is shared radically, shared with everyone. When something isn't shared, it can become the American lie, which honestly is true. If I was told you can't open a business or something else happens, then it's not a dream. You know, I think a lot of these. I think here's what's happening. Right, we're at a big cusp of a huge social change in our country. And again, this is just Shawn's opinion. And I mean, again, I'm not gonna get into this whole big thing, right? I talk about it here at the store all the time. We could argue all day, and there's channels out there that'll do that. Is white privilege a thing? If so, how does it affect everybody? How have I benefited from it? How is it, if it's a thing, right? Nothing was handed to me. I have everything in my life. I've built from absolutely nothing, and I've lost everything I've had at least twice in my life. Someone tells me you've had privilege and advantage in my life, and I'm be like, screw you. I've been homeless.
Likewise, I tell you, you're absolutely full of shit.
So, but then again, I've never been afraid when I've had a car behind me that I'm going to get pulled over and unfairly harassed because of the color of my skin. I've never had that before. I've encountered people that were racist against Spanish people in Southern California, where I lived for many, many years, because they wanted them. They were took our jobs, and they're stealing from the system and should be deported. I mean, I've never had anybody look at me that way. So I can't relate to certain things, and I can acknowledge I can't relate to certain things. And I think that's maybe what he's saying a little bit in here, is that if you're in America, the dream should be shared by everybody, and sometimes it's not. Especially if you get here and someone wants to say, "Oh, you're here illegally, you need to be deported." It's like, well, they've been here for 15 years. And anyway, we get into this whole big thing. I'm not going to do that. You have your opinion.
Yes, I do.
I didn't agree with that. I'm going to tell you why I like this issue later on. And I just didn't like this one at all. Okay. My last one. Oh my God. Okay. If Eternals is 3 issues packed into 1 issue, this is a half of an issue. There's 11 pages of story. I'm sorry, 20 pages of story. And those pages, many of them are splash pages. Many of them are gigantic, one filled up page.
Rob Splash pages.
It's a bunch of Rob Splash pages. If you like Rob, that's a good thing. If you don't like Rob's art, it's going to be a bad thing. I wanted more story. We kind of get a history of the character. The character's a badass. Got it. And then at the end, I was just like, okay, 11 pages of ads at the end of this comic. 11 pages of ads. Holy crap. So
It's Archie. They got to sell comics. Man.
I feel like I've been yes.
Bamboozled.
So, hey, if you want to pick it up for the 11 pages of advertisements in it, go for it. There's 20 pages of big splashy art. There's 1 page in here that sticks out from the rest of them. The colorist, man, he should color all Rob stuff, because that combination is awesome. It's awesome. I feel like a couple of the other colors didn't do him any favors in there. So anyway, that's my last skip it. Do you have one more skip it?
Nope, that was it.
Okay. So that's been our Skip It's Two Hugely Different Opinions brought to you from both of us. So again, if you like my opinion, go get that stuff. If you agree with Drew's stuff, go get his stuff.
We have no sponsors we bow to. So those are our opinions.
No sponsors at all. No one pays us for crap. Okay, so thanks very much. We're about to reset and do we have some cool stuff to show you in the next one. So this is Comics Elite. Duh. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. You know what to do. Buy what you like. Collect what you want. Don't listen to the haters.
And the big thing is now we are now on the Thinking Critical podcast. So this will be up on the Thinking Critical channel.
Okay.
If you're on iTunes, Spotify. Yep.
There you go. Yeah, we're going to those guys are they'll be podcasting.
Wes, yep.
You could have listened to this on their podcast. If you did, thank you. Jude goes on there on Saturdays, I believe, sometimes and hangs out with those guys. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys and listening